I mean, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I have a classmate here from elementary school in the audience, so I can say this, but we went to a great elementary school. Didn't we see that? Yeah. And so we had I'm the beneficiary of a really wonderful community and a really great public education in elementary school. And, so for me, I mean, I think I'm very grateful for the life I was given growing up in Hawaii. And I don't think it's a lot to ask, frankly, for us to leave something behind so future generations can have, hopefully, the same opportunities or chances that we did. So that's the message that I would give about legacy giving that's a little bit different than the one you give, the conversation you have around annual giving. Okay, I'm going back here because there was a question. I know there was a question. Wait, I'm not going to call on my own staff person because that doesn't really count. I thought there was somebody else that had a question. Yeah, there we go.
I'll ask a question.
Sure.
My question has to do with back to legacy gifts. I think that my experience has been in the past that you weren't always informed of the legacy gift.
Yes.
And then you were lucky enough to have it land.
Right.
So how do you, or have you thought about how you actually get people to come out of the closet?
That's what we're hoping part of this whole campaign in terms of, in a way, the advertorials. We're going to run a series on public radio for those of you who listen to public radio starting in January, hopefully. We're going to be running a whole series. It's 100 different stories. They're going to run on 88.1 during morning edition, right? And then they're going to flip over to 89.1. But we're going to try to normalize that conversation, right? Because there's a couple of reasons why people don't do it. One is, they feel like if they tell you they're going to give you something when they die, then you're going to root for them to die or something morbid like that. But or they just feel like they don't want to tell you because they want to make a big deal. It's kind of Hawaii style. No make waves. But I think we want to try to normalize it so people feel a little bit more comfortable about it, because it isn't. It's an important thing, and I tell people all the time when they, so what happens at the Community Foundation, like the Lord gift, we have a lot of people, the Jack Lord gift, we have a lot of people that come in and they set up funds with us to support multiple charities, right? Because if they're going to give it to literacy or they're going to give it to Iolani, they don't need us. But when they're going to give it to literacy and Iolani and Diamond Inn Theater, then they come to us and we manage that endowment, right? We get people all the time, I'm telling them, tell the charities that you're going to do this. Oh, I don't want to tell them. I said, but they should honor you, and they should thank you, and they should make a big deal out of you, right? So we got to figure out a way to, you're right, it's a big issue to try to norm this in a way that makes people feel proud that they're doing that kind of commitment, and see what we can do to really carry it on. Okay, Yuri, you can ask your question.
Well, I just wanted to ask about how people measure and report out the success of this initiative.
Paul's on the hook. Yeah, we're going to ask the charities that are participating we're going to come up with a way of figuring out how we're going to count new legacy commitments, and we're going to ask you to let us know. I wanted, most of you know it, Columbia Inn went out of business on Kapiolani. I wanted to take it over and put a big thermometer up there, and then kind of have it go up as we got to 500 or 600 legacy gifts. I was talked out of that by our really smart staff, but I do think we want to count, and we want to see some momentum, and that's part of the norming of this, right? Because I think people will feel okay about talking about it if they feel other people are doing the same thing. So we're hoping that we're going to be figuring out a way to count that. Paul's figured it out. One more question, and then I have to let you guys go. Last question. Who wants to ask the last question? Way in the back.
So I have a question about mechanisms and what the ideal breakout of mechanisms to do legacy, insurance, trust, wills, any other. Do you have a protocol or a format that you would use?
Yeah, we won't sort of tell people what the ideal thing. I think it's a case by case basis, but I think it's a really great opportunity. I mean, I will say the Community Foundation, offers charitable gift annuities, as do a number of organizations here. Not everybody can, because there's some underwriting requirements under the Hawaii state law. But I particularly think that's a really great vehicle, because if you are a person right now who is living off of dividends and interest, let's say, and the interest rate environment is so low, putting some money into a charitable gift annuity, which will pay you a substantially higher annual yield, is a very attractive thing. So, but it's going to depend on the person, and that's where, when you have that conversation with the person, and they, you bring their professional advisor in on that conversation, they'll find the right way to do it. So thank you. Kim, you're going to come back. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
One more round of applause for Kelvin. Thank you. Lots of great information. Your table's going to be flooded out there. Up next, we have our luncheon right across the way, but you have a little bit of time to do some networking and visit some of the booths outside.